On today's installment of Big Al's Garage, I'm going to be your motivational speaker. How y'all doing? On today's installment of Big Al's Garage, I'm here with my Honda lawnmower. Had this for about 9 years now, and it's getting to be yard work season here in South Carolina. And before I know it, my lawn will be out of dormancy, and it's time to wake this beast up from its winter slumber. We're going to do a basic tune-up on it today. We're going to change the oil, change the spark plug, change the air filter, and then we're going to take the blades off and have them sharpened. Let's get to it. First things first, your spark plug's located right here in the front. Not entirely sure which one I actually need, so we're going to take this one out, bring it over to advance, and yes, I'm using an impact to take it out. Yeah. It's not actually that bad. This takes a 13/16 spark plug socket, if you're curious. Spark plug itself doesn't look too bad. We could actually probably get away with this for another season. Now the air filter on this thing is probably another story entirely. I will tighten this properly with a ratchet, I assure you. Never use impacts for putting back together. That's rule number 2 in this shop. Gonna hand thread it in for now. The air filter is located on this side. We'll get to that later. Let's do the oil. Dipstick is also the filler cap. It can get quite tight. I usually do this trick once a season. Takes 1/4 of a quart of 10W30. Sometimes this thing sticks in there quite tightly. Yeah. The oil actually looks pretty good. It's not dirty or anything, but we're still going to change it anyway. I like to do it once a season. Do it, you just have to tilt the bad boy over on its side and let it dump right into the catch pan. Now, right here we have the air box. Let's open this up. 2 little clasps here. Yeah, this air filter is pretty tired. Although I'm holding it up to the light, I can just see light through it. But it's 9 years old. We're going to change it anyway. While that oil is draining, we're going to go ahead and take the blades off. Okay, so this is a twin blade mower. And it can both mulch and bag clipping, which is nice, because I like to mulch my front lawn, but bag the back where my kids play, and don't want them tracking grass clods through the house. It looks like 2 bolts, and this thing comes right off. Let's see, is it a 15 millimeter? It's a little loose. Well, let's give it a shot and see what happens. Now you can sharpen this yourself with a grinding wheel, but just hoping my local hardware store ought to be able to do it.
A few moments later.
Alright, here we go. 2 breaker bars. One jam the blades in place, the other to actually break the bolt loose, hopefully. Gotcha! All it took was a couple gallons of PB Blaster and every tool I own, practically. Once I break these things, I can spin them off with the impact in fairly short order. Alright. I'd love to know where my shorter 3/8 drive went for the impact, but alright. These are going back in with anti-seize compound. Okay, so here are the blades. See, we've got rust all over them. Yeah, this lawnmower isn't looking too pretty. We're just going to thread these back in so we don't lose them. And we're going to stand the lawnmower up, fill it up with oil, and get on with the other maintenance projects. It doesn't take much oil at all. I'm just going to fill it up a little at a time. Check it, fill it up some more until it's up to the crosshatches on the dipstick. Also looks like the deck is starting to rust a little bit. I'll have to do something about that. I'm not quite Bluetoothing it like Watch JR go, but he's also a better mechanic than I am. Let's check it. It off. Bottom still, I think. Only takes 1/4 quart, and this is synthetic 10W30. I know there's special lawnmower oil, but I run synthetic in all my cars. I want to run it in my mower too. We'll let it settle while I'm running out to the store, and we'll be back. Let's get this pushed inside and dealt with. Okay, so we are back from the hardware store. Our blades are sharpened. They're now sharp enough to split hairs. So major kudos to Johnson's Ace Hardware over in Welford, South Carolina. They did a fabulous job, and they did it quickly. We're going to check the oil one more time now that it's had a chance to settle. And we're going to put this thing back on its side and get back to work on it. Yeah, we need to fill her up more. I knew it. Ever want to run a lawnmower out of oil? I know from first-hand experience, they'll blow up. It's a very funny story for another day and another video. What I will tell you is thank God it was my dad who did it and not me, or it would have been even worse. Okay, let's get back to the blades. Okay. Now we gotta put the blades back on. Hopefully it's gonna be a lot easier than getting them off. I'm gonna put some anti-seize compound on these bolts in case I ever have to do this operation again. Try not to get grass clippings all over me while I'm doing this. But it's a lawnmower if that's going to happen. Both on, snug them up by hand, and do the final tighten with a ratchet. I have no idea what the torque spec for this is. Things on the right way. We're going to use the ratchet to send them home. Okay, our blade's back on. Blades, I should say. There's two of them. Last piece of the puzzle. Let's not put the thing down on me again. And knock the camera over. Now we get the filter and the pre-filter. How did this thing go on? This filter is a... Pre-filter is a Stens 100-446. And this filter is a Honda 17211-ZL8-000. Let's see, how did this thing go in? Memory serves in that. Yep. And let's put the pre-filter in on top. Thing didn't have a pre-filter originally, but let's give it a shot and see what happens. That's not going to work. Yeah, maybe it will. Okay. That, our lawnmower is back together. Let's put some gas in it. As I mentioned earlier, ethanol free. You always want to use ethanol free gas if you can get it for small engines. One of the reasons being is that ethanol is hydroscopic, it soaks up water, and lawnmowers actually sit for the vast majority of the time, so all the time it's sitting, it's soaking up water, and that can gum up the works. This thing is mostly out of gas, so it's going to get mostly fresh gas. Yes, I disabled the stupid spring mechanism on this gas can. Yeah, these new California improved gas cans royally suck. Almost impossible to pour gas into anything without making a mess. Considering I paid $4.11 a gallon for ethanol free, it's an expensive mess that I just made. Moment of truth time. How many pulls is it going to take to start? Oh, let's switch it from bag to mulch. One, two. It's trying. Sometimes you need a running start to get it started. 3. Oh! The spark plug's disconnected still. Let's try that again. Well, still not firing. Still not firing. Well, this isn't good. Gas is on. Probably so low on gas.